What up, YouTube? It's your boy Black. Make a video for about the PSN. PSN is still down. I got some information from not a friend, just somebody that did something on the internet, and I came across it. And I said, I gotta tell you guys on YouTube what I heard. What I heard was that it PSN was hacked. It wasn't hacked by nobody in America or Canada or nothing like that. So it was none of us that somebody that that could be around. It's not in America. They said the hack originated in Japan, and what the person was basically doing was he debugged PSN, and he was able to take pieces of information that he wanted or she wanted or they wanted. They could take your password, your email address password, your credit card, right? Your credit card, and anything else. I even heard they can that the person even could he even had a log of people's messages sent back and forth over the PSN. How you can send the messages. There's a log that Sony keeps, and he accessed that and stole log information. He also was able to go in on the PlayStation Store and click on anything you want and get any game you wanted from in the PlayStation Store, movie or game wise. He could just do anything, and they said he did it, and then the person never entered the system again. So it happened one time, like he was testing it or something to see if he could do it, and then Sony just shut everything down after they figured out. They basically came back in and was like, wow, our system's been tampered with. Somebody accessed it that wasn't us. So it was an unauthorized access. You know what I mean? I hear a lot of people saying that well, this could never happen to Xbox. And they're saying, oh, Xbox has to pay and Sony doesn't. Right? They don't make us pay. I mean, you know what I mean? Sony doesn't make us pay for the online. Right? That's what people are telling me. They're saying, okay, so see, you guys should have been paying, and maybe you wouldn't have got hacked. Xbox Live or Xbox is better. Now, I'm just gonna say one thing: Xbox Live has always been better than PSN, and I like PlayStation more than I like Xbox. I play PlayStation 3. I don't play Xbox like that. I have an Xbox. I have two of them, one in here and one in my son's room. I don't play either one of them like that at all. I barely ever touch them. But yeah, the PSN thing is it's outrageous to me. It's just really crazy that it's out. And yeah, we don't have to pay, and Xbox does. But the reason why Xbox makes you pay is because they have to make sure the security on the system is up to standards, up to snuff. And so does Sony. But Microsoft has been doing it for a long time. With media, they sell stuff on the internet, and people have to buy things from them. So they're used to handling that type of information. They're used to having to secure information because they've been doing it for a while. Now Sony has too. They sell products over the internet too, but PlayStation is something totally different. You know what I mean? Sony makes TVs and MP3 players, cell phones, fucking cameras. They're not really. I mean, they got into the video game business because it was blowing up in the early 90s, so they said, we need to get on this, and they have the capabilities to do it, so that's what they did. You know what I mean? They weren't really that type of company, but they turned into that, and they became legends in it. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, Microsoft has been in the game field forever. They've made many computer games. You know what I mean? So they already knew how to handle information and everything on a console, because it's different between a computer and a console. You know what I mean? It's a big difference in handling information that way. The console is a lot less powerful than a computer is. Computer has a lot more intricate things that goes into it, so it makes it a lot harder to hack and do that type of stuff. People can hack computers also, but it makes it a lot more harder. The system can be hacked as well, but it's easier, because to me it's like they hack the servers. We don't have the actual information stored where we can get to it. We put our information into the PSN, and Sony has servers with all our information stored on it. You know what I mean? So if you fucking get hacked or something happens, if somebody gets into their system, potentially we all fall victim. You know what I mean? And it's just screwed up. I gotta say the Xbox guys are right. If we had been paying for PSN, we wouldn't be going through this now because they could have took more precaution with security. You know, they could have paid somebody or an outside company to come in and digitally make sure that the security methods for their servers are up to snuff. They didn't do all that. You know what I mean? They basically did everything in house, and it wasn't good enough. Is basically what happened. It fell short. It fell short, and now we're gonna have to suffer for it. Do I blame Sony for it? I don't blame Sony for it. I blame the hackers. That's who I blame. I think it's just retarded. You know what I mean? And just because you can, you don't have to do it. You know, to prove a point. And who knows exactly why the guy did what he did? It could be a disgruntled employee. It could be anything. Who knows what it could be? You know, it could be Microsoft trying to sabotage us. I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. It could be anything. It's system wars is going on right now. It could be anything for all we know. But all I know is where it originated from, which was Japan, and what the guy was doing exactly. He was taking just different pieces of information and people's activities and things that they was doing on the PSN. He knew about everything. He knows he could get access to anything. Your address, he could be at your doorway right now because he has your address. He has everything. He has your credit card, your credit card password, email address, password. That's just crazy. I'm like, and this happened to Sony. Like they're like a billionaire company, like a $1 billion company. It's ridiculous. You know, it's just ridiculous. It's like they should have took proper precaution. You know, so I don't fully blame Sony, but you know what I mean. But I don't use a credit card on PSN anyway. That's nothing. So it doesn't affect me. The only way it affects me is that the PSN is just down. You know, but I feel bad for the people who did. So now it's like you have to call your credit card company up, let them know what's going on, make sure your card hasn't been tampered with, change your passwords and everything. And what about all the stuff you put on your PS3? If you bought it through a credit card, or just for the fact that the PSN's down and they're changing everything, are our download lists gonna still be there for all the stuff that we paid money for that maybe you want to delete and go back to the list and re-download back to the hard drive on that's stored on their servers? Is that still gonna be there? You know what I mean? Are we gonna be able to keep all our trophies? You know, or are we gonna have to go and make a brand new account and start from scratch with a message that's an apology from Sony or something? You know, that's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. And then you have to make a new account, and for everybody who makes a new account, they're probably gonna start you off with like a free $20 card already logged in or something like that. You know, which would be okay. You know, but I'm hoping that I get to keep all my data, you know, all my information that I had stored on there. There was a lot of stuff on there. You know, it was like, damn, man, they're gonna build it from the ground up. They're not just gonna fix it and turn it back on. They're gonna make a new PSN from scratch right now. Like, oh my god, this is insane. And we gotta sit here and wait for them to finish it, test it, make sure it can't be hacked again. Which means they made the first one. Now they want to try and make another one. But I did hear that they bought an outside sourcing, like I was saying, how Microsoft has that extra money. Now, because this is happening, now I heard Sony, they hired a company to come in and help them fix the problem. Basically, they want to know how the guy got in, how to close the door, and then how to make sure you cement the door shut so we can't get back in it again. That's what they're doing right now digitally. They're trying to they're beefing up the system. They got the PSN lifting weights right now so that this shit can't happen again. You know what I mean? They can't afford it to happen again, or Sony's credibility will be shot. It'll be shot. I mean, I'm riding with them to the grave, but a lot of other people will hear about this, and it's gonna affect system sales. It's gonna affect the numbers on the PSN. It's gonna affect a lot of shit, and they better hope it doesn't make a big splash on this one attempt. You know what I mean? They better hope, and it gives the Microsoft guys something to talk about. You know, and it's just like that. The PS3 is the better system. Like, damn, y'all tripped on a rock and you stumbled for a second though. Don't sleep. That people will say, okay, that's a big issue. You know, my information can be stolen. Like, damn, that's crazy. I know that the Xbox might have had the red ring of death for a while, but at least when the red ring of death died, my information died with it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I put my my credit card number, and then somebody charged $5,000 on my credit card. You know what I mean? That's like life-changing shit for a video game. Like, I'm playing a video game, it done fucked my life up. You know what I mean? So it's like, that shit is crazy, man. It's crazy. You gotta make sure shit is secure, Sony. You can't be putting shit out here, got us putting our information in here like it's okay, and then I wake up on Monday, it say system down for maintenance. Then another thing was you took forever to tell us. You took forever to tell us what the fuck was going on. Then you finally do tell us, you know what I mean? And it's some crazy shit. You know, and then people knock on you, that makes it worse for you. It was like you was keeping this information from us intentionally. You know, and then gonna fucking say, oh, well, we got hacked. There's nothing we can do about it. We're fixing it, and we're sorry for the inconvenience. Sorry? Sorry? I'm paying $14.99 a month for fucking DC Universe. I got a whole fucking download list full of shit that I paid money for. Sorry? Sorry is free. What you fucked me up over is costing me money. So I'm hoping that they do something to rectify this. This is going to be crazy to see exactly what they do. Because they got to make the PSN come back. It's got to be better, faster, stronger. This shit got to be bionic. Okay? Then on top of that, you understand, you got to prove to people that this won't never happen again. Like, we fixed the problem, you know? Because I'm not a fanboy, but I love the PlayStation. I grew up on it, you know? So it's real to me, you know. Fanboy. A lot of people say fanboys are just people who they buy the system and they just love that system for whatever reason they love it, the features in the system. No, I love the system because I grew up with it, so it's like a part of me. In my house, there always was a PlayStation. Me and my family, we would play. My dad and my mom might play Crash Bandicoot or something like that, and I'd be in there, and then I'd be playing the hardcore games in the house. You know, I was the hardcore game. I'd be playing Tenchu, Stealth Assassins, Metal Gear Solid on the PS1, them games. You know what I mean? Like, it was going down since I was younger. So I'm not a fanboy. I'm just a loyal Sony fan that I grew up on that. That's what was presented to me. So that's what I'm accustomed to. You know, and that's truly what it is. I'm not one of these guys who's just standing behind Sony because I like the system. I like the system, but I'm standing behind them because I grew up on it. You know, it's a part of me, basically. You know, I've been playing Sony for a minute. Shit. Video games is in my blood. I was born in '84. That's the birth of home counseling was that year. Nintendo came out the year I was born. Or it might have been the year after that. But I was birthed during the beginning of the home console revolution. So this shit is in my blood. You know? It was meant for people my age to play. They bought it out right when a couple fucking months after I was born or before I was born, within that same year, that time period. You know, so that's why I like Sony, and that's why I like games. I've been doing this shit forever, you know? I've been doing it forever. So it's like, come on, man. I'm tired of people saying this fanboy shit. I'm not a fanboy. I like Sony, period. That's it. I just like the PlayStation. That's it. What they need to start doing is worry about how the fucking Xbox is charging them for all this crazy shit. I'm not paying $60 to $80 for a fucking great controller with a crazy ass D-pad that turns. That's crazy. I'm not paying for that. Get the fuck out of here. Microsoft always make you feel like, oh, you didn't like that? Okay, we fixed it. Ha ha ha. Yeah, well, you should have fixed it in the fucking beginning. Because this controller right here works fine for everything. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, first-person shooters, fucking Madden, fucking chess, virtual tennis, whatever the fuck you want to play. Okay? Now, you let me see you play Street Fighter on us. I only got no Xbox controller near me. Them shits is in a drawer somewhere. But let me see you play Street Fighter on the regular Xbox controller and get it to work and tell me it's comfortable and that you're not struggling. You're going to be struggling. That controller is the most retarded thing I ever seen for a fighting game, a 2D fighting game, or even a 3D fighting game. Dead or Alive was the only game that played good on that shit, and that's because it was made for that shit. It's developed for Xbox. Okay, so that shit really don't count. That's an in-house product. You know, they made it from the ground up on that console. And then when you port it to the PS3, it works still just as good as it does on the Xbox. I wouldn't say it works better. They're about the same thing. Alright, but real gamers stand up, man. I'm out of here. Enough of my rant.